Tips for healing after being betrayed. Betrayal is one of the deepest wounds, especially betrayal from someone who you trusted. When people are betrayed, for instance, by their primary caregivers during childhood, that is a wound that touches to the core of who the person is. When people are betrayed in an intimate partnership, like in a situation of marital infidelity, that's a very deep wound. And then there are other levels of betrayal, like I thought someone was my friend and they made a party and they didn't invite me, which is also hurtful, but it's not as deeply devastating as some other forms of betrayal. In any event, whatever the betrayal is, the lesson is, and this is very difficult for people to absorb, and I have to be very careful when I say this, and if you're not yet at the point in your healing where you can even listen to this, please just ignore. You don't have to be upset. You don't have to argue with me. If you're not ready for this yet, it's okay. But if you are ready for closure and for healing, the biggest spiritual bonanza that you could have after being betrayed is to realize that you have been basing your emotional well-being on human beings, and that from now on, you only are basing your emotional well-being on that which is eternal, infinite, and unchanging, on God Himself. It doesn't excuse the betrayal of the other person, the offending party. It's neither here nor there. It's about my own spiritual healing. When I realize that my security cannot come from flesh and blood, from human power, from mortal, finite, flawed human beings. My only sense of well-being can come from God Almighty Himself. And when we enter that new frontier, our relationships with people are completely revolutionized. Because what happens is we don't need anyone anymore. And now when we don't need them, because they don't have our well-being, they don't have our sense of purpose, our sense of wellness, we're not trying to get that from them anymore. We don't need their approval. We don't need their validation. Now we're free to actually bond intimately with other human beings. Without any tit for tat, without any quid pro quo, without any type of exchange or transactional motive. That is what happens when someone is betrayed and rises above the frailties of human beings and realizes that human beings can never provide what you're looking for. That's when you launch into a whole new level of human relationships.